we had a deal to fight Tom Aspinall.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, we had a deal.
What happened?
And he said, you know what, I'm not going to do it.
He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Did he
I
give a
can't
reason?
be in that position.
White House cards, gotta be the biggest fight. Can't be John Jones, he's a flake. John really wants on the card. John apologizes. He went to Dana White in a text message, and Dana said, hey, I didn't like how this whole thing went down with Aspinall. I thought that we had an agreement. I'm not cool with that. John came to him and apologized.
Dana White makes it clear that John Jones won't be part of the UFC White House card after backing out of the agreement to face Tom Aspinall. He explains that they had a deal in place, but Jones later decided he wasn't going through with it. White stresses that he can't move forward with a fighter who doesn't follow through on commitments, and he needs someone reliable for that spot.
Are you saying no to Jones? What's the...
I haven't said yes or no to anybody yet, but I can't put John Jones in a position where he can, you know.
Right. You can't let this get canceled.
I had a deal with him. We had a deal to fight Tom Aspinall.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, we had a deal.
What happened?
And he said, you know what, I'm not going to do it.
He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Did he
I
give a
can't
reason?
be in that position.
John Jones reflects on the Aspinall situation with regret and admits he mishandled their verbal agreement. He acknowledges that nothing was officially signed, but he still feels responsible for how things unfolded. Jones mentions that he's giving Dana White some space for the moment, though he hopes to speak with him face-to-face and offer a personal apology soon.
I think my most immediate goal is to try to be on the White House card.
Okay.
And
You talking to Dana? How's he feeling?
You know, I'm giving Dana his space. You know, Dana has changed my life.
Yes, he
He has
is.
changed my life. He's changed my children's lives.
Yeah.
I'm forever grateful to him. And we had a verbal agreement that didn't go over well. Nothing was finalized. I do admit guilt, not guilt, but I was wrong.
You'll make it right at the White House.
The way things went down, I was wrong, and I wish that I could see him face to face and just apologize to him, and so that we can let bygones be bygones and get back to making some major money for the sport and really entertaining these fans. When he's feeling me, I think I'm one of his favorite fighters.
Yeah.
When he's not feeling me, I'm probably the reason why he has a bald head.
Yeah, that's probably why you are.
Dana White also accepted John Jones' apology by saying there is nothing for Jones to be sorry about. He explains that despite all the ups and downs they've had over the years, he still views Jones as the greatest of all time. White adds that people may laugh when he says it, but working with Jones has always been its own unique experience.
I see he said he wanted to apologize to you. Are you in an accepting mood of that apology?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, he doesn't need to apologize to me for anything. You know, even through all the bad stuff that John and I have gone through, I still say that John Jones is the greatest of all time because it's a fact. You know, it has nothing to do. You know, everybody starts laughing when I say it. John Jones is the greatest of all time, period, end of story. I know it and everybody else knows it. So there's nothing for John to apologize about. You know, dealing with John over the last however many years has been a unique experience, I can tell you that, but it doesn't change the fact that he's the best ever.
On the other hand, a lot is going on in the welterweight division, especially after UFC 322. Everybody is looking to fight for the title, and Carlos Prates didn't miss the opportunity and called out Islam Makhachev with a bold claim, arguing that Islam would be an easier matchup than Kamaru Usman. He points out that Islam competes at a lighter weight and gets taken down more frequently, implying that Usman presents the tougher overall test. Prates frames it as a fight that Islam could manage without much difficulty. Carlos Prates said, "I'm the easiest fight for Islam because Kamaru Usman, he's a He's already damn good at wrestling. I'm the lightest guy. I get taken down the most. Come on, come fight me, it'll be easy for you." However, TJ Dillashaw believes Carlos Prates isn't close to Islam Makhachev's level yet and still lacks key grappling awareness. He points out visible gaps in Prates' game and feels a title push is premature. In his view, Islam would run through him at welterweight, making it a straightforward matchup. Dillashaw suggests Prates take smarter fights first, warning that jumping into a fight with Islam too soon could cost him his long-term opportunity.
Maybe a little bit more grappling awareness from Prates would help him out a lot. Because you see holes, this is 170, so the champion now, Islam would just wreck him. You know, it would just be an easy fight. So I don't think Prates should even be pushing for a title fight right now. Let, continue to build some star power because he's a star. He's entertaining. Take some smart fights because, Islam, you lose your chance at a title by fighting Islam, in my opinion.
TJ Dillashaw reflects on Islam Makhachev's performance and admits he didn't expect the fight to look that one-sided. He emphasizes that he always favored Islam in a grappler versus striker matchup, especially with someone as dominant as Islam, but he still expected JDM to offer more resistance, scramble up more often, and show greater danger on the feet.
Islam made the fight look so easy, dude, and I did not expect it to look that easy. I chose Islam to win. Anytime there's a grappler versus striker, usually 90% of the time I'm picking the grappler. Especially when they're this dominant, but I expected JDM to give him more problems, be able to get back to his feet and show more danger on his feet.
Rampage Jackson praises Islam Makhachev's striking against JDM, admitting he wasn't expecting Islam to look that sharp on the feet after hearing so many people claim JDM's boxing was even better than Topuria's. Rampage reveals this was actually his first time watching Islam fight, and the performance left him genuinely blown away. He says Islam impressed him by picking Jack apart once, the threat of the takedown forced JDM to change his striking, and believes Islam could become an even bigger star by mixing in early takedowns to make opponents hesitate before getting lit up on the feet. Nick Barnhill believes Jack Della Maddalena made a major mistake against Islam Makhachev. He explains that while Islam clearly had the ground advantage, Jack should have relied on his striking when he got back to his feet. Instead, Jack repeatedly tried trips and takedowns, which put him in worse positions. Barnhill points out that going for those moves after being worn down on the ground shows a lower fight IQ, as it left Jack vulnerable against a superior grappler and led him to ending up trapped against the cage with Islam on top.
What drove me crazy is, of course, we knew Islam had the advantage on the ground. Jack should have had the advantage on the feet. The couple of times that Jack did finally get back up to his feet, he went for some sort of trip, whether it was an inside leg or outside leg or a hip toss. He was looking to take Islam back to the ground, and that just shows you a lower fight IQ than what we've seen out of Jack. I'm not going to say he's not a smart fighter. He's a very good fighter, but when you see a guy like that with no answers on the feet and no answers on the ground, but less answers on the ground, you have to understand, look, if you have the chance to get to your feet, you have to fight like hell to create distance. You cannot take him back down. You will wind up in a worse position if you get back up to your feet after being tired and beat up on the ground for a couple minutes by Islam, and then you try to trip him. I mean, there's footage of him. They were literally in the worst position possible up against the fence. Jack's head is on the ground, his legs are in the air, his back is up against the cage, and Islam's on top of him. Like, that's the kind of position you wind up in if you're an inferior grappler going against a guy like that, and you finally get to your feet and then you go for that kind of thing. It was just not the approach I would have wanted to see out of him.
Robert Whitaker highlights how stacked the welterweight division is, making it hard to predict the next fights. He mentions potential matchups like Michael Morales versus Islam Makhachev or Carlos Prates, but notes complications if Ian Gary wins his fight. With Kamaru Usman, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Islam asking for a White House bout also in the mix, he says it's unclear how the UFC will arrange the next big matchup.
It's so hard to say who he fights next because both welterweight fights put on a spectacle.
I know.
They put on a show. And honestly, it could be a flip of the coin. Like, in a perfect world, in a world of rules and regulations, the higher ranked guy would just get the fight. Both guys put on an excellent showing. But what actually happens, who knows? Is anybody's guess.
Either you have Michael Morales versus Islam Makhachev, or you have Michael Morales versus Carlos Prates for the #1 contender fight. But then I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, hold on, if Carlos Prates wins and Ian Gary beats Bilal Muhammad, how is that fair to Ian Gary because he just beat Carlos Prates? Welterweight is crazy, and not to mention Kamaru Usman and Shavkat Rakhmonov are just lurking in the wings. I don't know what you do. This division's stacked, bro. It's crazy.
And not to mention, Islam just asked for a White House fight. You know, who do you put him against for a card that big, monumental? I don't know. I do not have the answers.
Arman Tsarukyan also praises Islam Makhachev's UFC 322 performance, saying he dominated Maddalena with surprising ease. He notes that Islam is on another level in his prime and questions who could realistically challenge him at 170 pounds.
What was your reaction to what Islam accomplished on Saturday?
A very good performance. I was shocked how he beat so easy Maddalena. It says what's Islam level, you know. He's in different level right now. He's on his prime.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that fight would be a lot closer.
And I don't know who can stop him right now. The 170.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan thinks Ilia Topuria talks too much. When asked about a potential fight, Arman confidently says he would choke him out. He adds that Topuria should be concerned about his skills in wrestling, implying that his abilities in the cage are what make him dangerous.
I interviewed Ilia Topuria some time ago, and he told me that you were boring or unskilled. What do you think of him?
Ilya, he likes to talk a lot.
And what do you think would happen in a fight between you and him?
I choke him out.
You say that Topuria fears you. What should he fear about you?
About my skills, about my wrestling.
Paddy Pimblett is also interested in fighting Ilia Topuria and shows frustration over the hold-up in confirming his fight with Topuria. He can't understand why the contract hasn't been finalized and says he's waiting to see how things develop in the next few weeks.
You know, me and Topuria's got the storyline built in. It's all there. It's half nice for me that he won the belt, even though I don't like him. I'd rather him not be a 2-division champ. It's better for me that he won the belt, because if Charles would have won, then I definitely would have had to fight someone else first. You know what I mean? But with Ilya having the belt, it's just a storyline's already set up. It's all ready to go. Exactly. So I don't understand why it's not announced and why it's not already made and written in a contract, but we'll see what happens over the next few weeks.
Paddy Pimblett also criticizes Justin Gaethje for expecting a guaranteed title shot, calling it unfair. He highlights that his own recent win came against a higher-ranked opponent and notes that his fight with Ilia Topuria already has a strong storyline. Pimblett adds that he is surprised the matchup hasn't been officially announced yet.
You know, don't ever want to say a bad word about Justin Gaethje, because he's a legend, but he's doing interviews lately being a proper you know what I mean, saying like the UFC owe him and he deserves it and all that. No one's owed nothing, you know what I mean, you fight for it. And my last win, I beat someone in a better fashion who was a higher ranked opponent than he won in his last fight. So I know he's a legend and obviously he's done a lot for the company and all that, but you can't just demand a title shot. You know, me and Topuria's got the storyline built in. It's all there. It's half nice for me that he won the belt, even though I don't like him. I'd rather him not be a 2-division champ. It's better for me that he won the belt, because if Charles would have won, then I definitely would have had to fight someone else first. With Ilya having the belt, it's just a storyline's already set up. It's all ready to go. Exactly. So I don't understand why it's not announced and why it's not already made and written in a contract, but we'll see what happens over the next few weeks.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan admits he's not interested in sitting out. If he delivers a strong performance and the UFC offers him Ilia Topuria in January, he's ready to jump straight into that matchup without hesitation.
Arman, we're around 2 months away from this potential fight happening and nothing has been announced yet. So I'm wondering, if all goes well for you on Saturday and you put on this great performance, would you be willing to make a quick turnaround to fight Ilya for the belt maybe in January, or would you rather just kind of wait and see how things play out?
No, I don't want to wait. If I perform very well and the UFC said, can you fight in January, I'll take that fight right away.
On the other hand, Ian Machado Gary is excited about the new UFC welterweight rankings, even with Carlos Prates ahead of him. He feels the division finally reflects the new generation, with fighters like Usman, Leon, and Colby out of the picture. Gary says that after he beats Belal Muhammad this weekend, he expects to claim the #1 contender spot. He believes the entire welterweight division now revolves around his fight, and while Islam remains the champion, who gets the next shot will depend on his performance.
Brady's 7.
Look at the UFC doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, Brady is 7, Usman is 8, and Edwards is 9, and Buckley is 10. So that's the top 10 there. I mean, the thing is, obviously,
my
like,
reaction is to that.
Good.
It finally looks right. We've got rid of Usman, we've got rid of Leon, we've got rid of Kobe. They're all gone. They're all out of there, and the new generation is here. That's how it should look right now at this point in time. Come this weekend, when I knock Belal out, I shall take that #1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I'm fighting for the #1 contender fight. That's my thing. When I win this weekend, this entire welterweight division revolves around me. Islam's the champion set in stone. That's not moving right now. However, who's next? All depends on my fight.
Ian Gary believes defeating Belal Muhammad at UFC Qatar would make him impossible to overlook for a title shot. He believes a strong finish this Saturday will cement his place among the top welterweights and put him next in line for a championship opportunity.
Obviously, when the lay of the land was laid out for everyone and we knew Patches was going to fight Leon and Brady and Morales and then Islam and Jack and me and Belal, You've got the 8 best welterweights on the planet competing within 7 days of each other. Obviously, the champion was decided. It's now Islam Makhachev. But for the other 6 competitors, it's completely irrelevant until my fight takes place. I've beaten Patches. When I knock out Bilal Muhammad on Saturday night, I'm an absolute cement the number 1 contender in the world and next to my contender. And that's it.
Michael Bisping also analyzes the welterweight division, calling it full of top talent. He highlights undefeated Mac Morales coming off a knockout of Sean Brady, Carlos Prates after his impressive win over Leon Edwards, and Shavkat Rakhmonov as key fighters making the division highly competitive.
And then when you look at welterweight, I mean, what is going to happen there? Because the welterweight division is ridiculous right now. Of course, Michael Morales has a claim to fighting for the belt because he's 19-0, he's undefeated and just knocked out Sean Brady. You've got Carlos Prates that just sparked out former champion Leon Edwards in devastating fashion, did something that no one's ever done to Leon Edwards, so he's got a shot. You've also got Shavkat Rakhmonov that was the number 1 contender, but then he got injured. You've got Bilal Muhammad going up against Ian Gary. Ian Gary's making a lot of noise saying that he wants to fight for the belt as well. And then, of course, after all that, you've got Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian nightmare. So there is no shortage of opponents. Oh, you've also got Joaquin Buckley.
However, Islam Makhachev wishes to face Kamaru Usman for his first welterweight title defense. He points out that Usman is still a top-level, dangerous fighter who can challenge any contender, making him the ideal next opponent.
And today's the 2 fight did like very well, Moraes and Prates.
Yeah.
But I still thinking Kamaru can beat them both. And Kamaru's the biggest name. They're young fighter who like hungry, but Kamaru's still dangerous and one of the best in this game, you know.
Really?
And if you give me the choice and ask me who you want to fight, I will take Kamaru, but it's not my job. Anyone, I will be ready.
Kamaru Usman also wants to fight Islam Makhachev and explains that his potential fight with the Dagestani star is all about competition, not hatred. He notes that they already challenge each other in the gym without tension, and bringing that same energy into the octagon would be enjoyable. Usman adds that if he ever hurt Islam in a real fight, he would hold back from landing an extra shot, showing the respect he has for him.
I've said it's no secret. I love Islam. And I'm close with all those guys over there, Khabib and Juba and Usman and Umar. I like those guys. I really do. And also with Rizvan and Ali working with the mix, there's no animosity here. There's no bad blood, just competition. We do this for free in the gym every day. Now, for us to go out there and just entertain the masses, I love it. I think it will be great. Now, on fight week and fight night, we're staring at each other, knowing that we are going to have to punch each other. I think that feeling might change momentarily, but if I do hurt him and he's down and there's a follow-up shot to potentially put him away, that's the difference is I won't take that shot.
Kamaru Usman considers Islam Makhachev one of the toughest opponents in MMA because he can't spot any weaknesses in his game. Facing Islam reminds him of the pressure he experienced before fighting Colby Covington. He explains that an opponent like this pushes a fighter into their highest competitive zone. After Islam's latest performance, Usman sees him as one of the most skilled and complete fighters in the sport today.
I'm not here to glaze it in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but I say it's the most competitive because when I look at a guy like Islam, I don't really see holes like that. And that's something that scares me, that causes that heartbeat to go up. And that's where you see some of the most spectacular performance. Because the last time I felt that like that was Colby Covington won. And that's when I was like, yo, you got a guy that can wrestle just as good as you, a guy that can grapple just as good, a guy that can maybe not strike it, but a guy that can strike just as well. You have a guy that's good at all these things. How do you get that victory? And that's where you live. That's where you get that your spirit just is in there to just fight it out. And so I would say yes, if you if you're talking about which fight right now is probably the most competitive, and listen, Islam is great. He's great. Especially what he did last night. Islam is great. You can't take anything away from him.
However, Ali Abdelaziz revealed he was surprised by Kamaru Usman's interest in fighting Islam Makhachev, since they've always treated each other like brothers. He explains that Usman sees it purely as competition, expressing pride and respect for Islam while still wanting to challenge himself. Ali adds that he will support the fight if they go for it, but is also fine if they decide not to pursue it.
I was kind of honestly shocked Kamaru kind of want to fight with him, because we all friends and brothers and stuff like that. But Kamaru looking at this, it's a competition. You know, I love you. I'm proud of you. But I just want to compete with you. And listen, at the end of the day, they're grown men. If this is what they choose to do, I'm just there to help and support and just try to make it happen. If this is what they want. If they don't want, it's okay with me too.
And that's all we have from today's video, and we hope you've enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing MMA videos.